Yo, what's good, y'all? Back like we never left. You already know the vibes. Back here with another podcast. Me and my boy Dion.
Hey,
Still working on that title, but we here regardless. Gonna talk about a few things today. First thing we're gonna chat about is the return of anime. The return after the Rona. After the Rona shut everything down. So One Piece is back. What was that first episode yesterday or 2 weeks ago?
it
came back?
I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was last week, so that last Sunday.
Okay, so there's an episode today.
Yeah.
Or yesterday, last night.
I hope there's an episode today.
I think one came out last night. Doesn't it come on Saturday night some shit?
I'm not sure how the drops work. You know, it depends on what website you're on. Like,
yeah, true.
Like it might drop the night before, but it might be Saturday.
Yeah, it's true. So yeah, that shit's back. So you, as the main One Piece anime watcher, I don't really be watching that shit that much. How do you feel about that shit?
Bro, my heart is so happy. I was like, so I have this this tradition, I guess it would be called now. Or it might just be OCD or whatever you want to label it as, but I always make a bowl of ramen with 2 eggs poached. I don't hard boil or soft boil them. I like them poached. So I mean, I'm kind of weird on that. I get a glass of milk and I sit down and I watch my anime show cover to cover. I always watch the intro of One Piece. I don't know, even though I've seen it, it was like a million times now, 950 times. Yeah. I mean, this arc hasn't changed. So I watched the same intro and I treat it exactly the same. I just indulge myself in my Sunday anime. And when I heard that, I didn't hear that it came out, but I would every single Sunday, tell me how sad this is.
Dead.
Every Sunday I would open up my computer, get my ramen ready, and then find out a new episode didn't come out and just eat my ramen in sadness. So so it was a sad ramen, but this past Sunday it was a good ramen day. Like I don't know.
Dead.
No tears in my ramen. I mean, have you ever watched that movie? So to be on a sidebar, have you ever watched the movie Shaolin Soccer?
Nah, I haven't, but I know what you're talking about. I know the movie you're talking about, but I've never seen it.
Oh,
I thought it just looked too much for me, bro. I was like, this shit is so dumb.
You should watch it. So the scene I'm gonna reference, if you haven't seen the scene, I'll share it with you. So the girl who's she makes biscuits. And she does hand signs and stuff and makes these tasty I think they're actually dumplings. Makes these tasty dumplings, right?
Okay.
And she gets her heart broken by one of the Shaolin Soccer guys, who's the main character, and she's making the dumplings and she's crying into the water, and she gets fired because the dumplings become too salty, and her boss is like, the dumplings are too salty this week, you're fired. And she gets her heart broken and loses her job in the same day, right? And that's just how I pictured me eating my ramen when I would open up my screen. Just this ramen's a little saltier today, but it was not salty.
Bro, that's too funny. The fact that you went and checked every week, so after they shut it down, is so funny. And it wasn't just One Piece. I feel like they postponed everything, no?
I think the majority of animes that get dropped weekly.
Yeah, weekly ones for sure, yeah.
The Netflix ones, obviously, they don't make any Netflix ones for 10 years, but...
Yeah.
But
I think... make weekly Johns. They should just drop a season, fucking Netflix.
Yeah, right? They do kind of set you up for life failure right there. They're not like, all right, we're just going to make you watch this for 20 minutes. They're like, hey, here's 40 episodes. And you're like, well, I guess I'm watching all this today. Yeah, so I was stoked, man. I was so stoked. I watched the episode. I wasn't as happy with the episode for it being a comeback. It wasn't on a high note.
I don't even know what the anime is on. So what was the episode that they came back on?
So the episode they came back on was Luffy still in the prison with the Sea Prism Stone, and the guard just stomped out the old man. So Luffy So Luffy got fired up. Oh yeah, big shout out. We're gonna spoil mad shit on this podcast, and I hope that You ain't mad.
For sure. This is spoilers for sure.
So he got stomped out, and then Luffy turned up on the guard and kicked him in his face and gave him the 1-2 skip to Marlou. And now the ninja, I forget their names, but like I know what they look like. What's the ninja? Raizo. Yeah, Raizo. He got the key, so now they're in this big thing trying to unlock him. But they haven't met up yet. So Raizo, the old man is on Luffy's back at the end of the episode, and he's carrying him up the wall.
Okay, yeah.
So it wasn't one of those like, it was like a good comeback. You're like, oh, he's gonna escape, but I wanted like Big Mom and Kaido just to start throwing paws. You know
but they're not just going to change the story because the shit came back. That shit just where the shit ended up. Yeah, there's good stuff happening though. It's just good stuff's gonna happen for that shit soon.
So do you have any?
The episode that came out yesterday will probably be pretty good if I remember what happens next.
God, I'm so happy. I'm like, I want to just see the fight. Like, talking about those fights though, can we just explain to people that so this is for you, the anime watchers versus the manga watchers, right? That Luffy didn't put hands on Kaido like they portrayed it in the anime, right?
Oh no. It's in the manga it's totally different. In the anime they make Luffy look really good. Whereas in the manga it looks really bad.
Like, what do you mean by that? Like, it looks really bad.
In the manga, basically, he just gets one shot. So Kaido's drunk comes down. He obliterates the mountain that everyone's on. Luffy thinks everyone's dead. So Luffy gets tight. He goes gear third or whatever, and he punches Kaido. That's the one shot he gets in, the one hit, where he punches Kaido on top of his head.
Yeah.
So then they both drop, and Luffy gear forwards up, and then Kaido sobers up, hits him with the Thunder Bagua, boom, and Luffy's one shot. Nothing else happened.
Okay, so
in the anime, they make it seem like he's really throwing hands. Like he gets a Gatling in, all of that. That should never happen. Well, I guess it could have happened, but they didn't show us that in the manga. Is what I'm saying. They made him seem really like a lot better than it was in the manga because he gets fucked up.
Yeah, but that makes a big difference, though, right? Like,
yeah, because people's perception is way different if you watch the manga and the anime. Like when that happened in the manga, everyone was like, "How is Luffy gonna ever beat Kaido if he's got one shot? Like he has to grow so much." But if you watch the anime, you're like, oh, "Okay, he's kind of throwing hands. He's a little closer. He could probably do it." But yeah,
it definitely sets you up for because that's how I felt. So like from my perspective on that, when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh man, Kaido's really not all that." Like, like he's portrayed as this human. Oh well, this beast that's unbeatable, and like I'm all like, "Oh, Luffy's okay. He got a couple punches in. Okay, he knocked him back. All right, he's moving him." And then he gets just busted in the face by a gigantic club, and that's it.
That move is crazy.
And I was like, "Whoa, this guy's actually too strong." But then again, like when you told me, like, "Oh no," like when I remember us talking about that too. On I remember I was like, "Hey man, Luffy was getting some good hits," and you're like, "Wait, what are you talking about?"
Yeah, because I didn't see the anime. I was like, "What?" Against who?
Yeah, like, oh, was he fighting Nami? Like,
yeah, like what? Is he fighting Batman? That bad smile? That guy or what?
Jeez, yeah. So it's wild how different it makes those two, like that exact same scene in the two, and it makes me kind of want to read some manga. Like it makes me want to read it a little bit more now because I feel like I'm not getting justice.
Yeah, it's just the manga, at least for One Piece sake. The manga just has more heavy stuff because, like the anime, the show is for kids. That's just like a kid's cartoon. So there's things they change from the source material of the manga to make it a little less heavy in the anime. Okay. Like for example, early in the story when Sanji and Zeph are on the island or whatever, and they're starving, it's said that in the anime it says that Zeph lost his leg when he saved Sanji in the water. But that's not the case. Okay. In the manga, Zeph gives all the food to Sanji for him to survive. So for Zeph to survive himself, he cuts off his own leg and he eats his leg.
Whew.
Yeah, so that's what happens in the manga. But in anime, it just shows him that when he dove in to save Sanji in the water, he lost his leg that way. So like they just little changes that like it's a little change, but like it definitely changes like the whole perspective of what that means.
I mean, that's a big difference though. Like, I mean,
yeah,
like,
but they can't just put that in a kid's show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish they would have like, and that's hard because when it comes to what was his Redfoot or is that because Blackfoot Sanji is different?
Yeah, Red Leg Zeph, something like that.
Red Leg Zeph, yeah. So Zeph, he was when you first see him, you just think he's just this like old cocky like pirate, but then when you put him in that light, you're like you think of him as just this straight badass. Like,
yeah, he's been badass. Zeph is mad cool.
Yeah, but it's a different look because when you see him in the anime, like, oh, it's just some old annoying guy, and then you see him, he's like, oh, that's Red Leg Zeph or Red Boots, and you're like, oh, okay, he murdered some people, like that's real. But then when you think of, you're like, this guy was actually hard, like
yeah, he's hardcore. He was a hardcore pirate. Like he was like a legit pirate. Like he was on the Grand Line, like back in the day when it was like not many pirates. So like he's a real one for sure.
He's the OG.
He's a real one. Yeah.
Thinking about back to that scene though, he did kind of have that presence when he's like, I had the wooden leg, just straight kicking people.
Yeah, OD.
Oh man, that was a good episode. I liked how they brought Sanji's character out though. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Sanji is really good. I mean, he doesn't really get any shine. I feel like his character like really goes down as the show goes. That's a talk for another day though. That's like a whole other conversation. Because I feel like Oda does Sanji really dirty a lot of the times.
Really? Why not talk about it right now?
Because it's a lot, and I need to like compile all of my thoughts because I have a lot.
Oh, okay.
Evidence and shit.
I agree with that.
It just seems like Oda always uses Sanji's like his like gag in like bad ways, and it just seems like Sanji never grows because he's always held down by this gag of him not being able to do shit around women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even though there's context in the story of why he's like that for women, because as a child, the only two people who were nice to him in his entire childhood were his mother and his sister.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why he reveres women and puts them on a pedestal so much, but like it's a lot of the times it's to the detriment of like his character.
So I always feel like Sanji, he fights all the stronger people. Just like in this last episode of the Wano, where he was at his little soba shop, and who's the dinosaur that's not Drake?
His name is Page One.
Page One, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just like, I thought it was like something Page. I was gonna say Page 69, but but yeah, everyone always seems to have like a plan on like they know who they're fighting. Like I'm assuming Zoro's gonna fight Drake just because that's the way it's gonna turn out. But Sanji just literally is at the soba shop. Someone's like, "Yo, Sanji, come out!" Like, and this dude has no plan. He just has to go fight. Like,
yeah, bro.
that never happens to Luffy. Luffy's like, "All right, I gotta fight Kaido." You know, this boy all this time while he's sitting in prison is thinking like, "How do I fight this dude Kaido?" Poor Sanji's over here trying to eat some food, and someone just rolls up and it's like, "Hey, like, yo, shoot the fair one, yo, run the fade, like, run me my fade."
Bro, that shit's so funny.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I agree with you. Sanji does get the poor end of this thing.
Out of the top three, the Monster Trio, he definitely 100% gets the short end of the stick. 1000%. Even though he has some of the coolest moments in the show. Like his whole Mr. Prince moment in Alabasta is still one of the coolest things that happened ever.
Yeah, I agree with that, man.
Yeah.
Talking about that too, I feel like that's something we could even like share in like future. So we might have to hold down and see. We're just dropping topics for y'all. Like Sanji versus Zoro. Like who's ranked higher?
Oh, that's tough. I don't know, man. If we're really gonna talk like brute fighting strength, I can't put Sanji over Zoro. I can't, because we haven't even seen Zoro go all out in a fight in the New World yet. It hasn't happened. Even against Pika, he didn't go all out.
Yeah.
So it's tough to say.
It is. Like, so Sanji looks like he has 177. Is that billion or million? Looks like billion.
A million. Only billions are like Luffy and like the Kaido and shit like that.
So it says Sanji's 177 million here.
Yeah, I think his Zoro's higher than Zoro, like what, like 1,000 or some shit, 2,000.
No, he's lower. Zoro's 320 million.
Oh no, his bounty goes up after Whole Cake. Maybe it didn't happen yet. I'm almost certain it does.
I thought it did too.
I'm pretty sure he gets. If Zoro's at 320, Sanji's at 330.
It says it's hard to find it because like I'm over here on Google looking it up right now.
Yeah.
And it says he's at 177, but I think that's because he's at the wrong location.
Yeah. I'm almost certain that his bounty is like 133 million. Like 333 million.
All right. See current bounty. Let's try to find that. Oh yeah, it looks like 330.
Yeah.
Wow, Luffy was at 5 something? Damn, that dude's crazy.
He's fucking higher now. He's at 1.5 bill, I think.
Yeah, Zoro. So you were really close. 330, Zoro.
320, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. 320.
Yeah.
Yep, 320. So he hasn't went up. So Sanji's technically stronger, right?
Bounty doesn't mean strength, though. We don't know about that because Sabo's bounty is not even 1 million. It's in 600 million. And if you're talking about the second in command in the Revolutionary Army, bro, come on. He should have a billion-berry bounty, bro. Shitting me?
Yeah. I mean, God Usopp has...
Exactly. Usopp got like, what, 200,000?
200 million, bro.
Usopp, yeah. That's Usopp, bro.
He's the god, man. The god himself.
Fucking Usopp, dude.
God Usopp has the best bounty photo I've ever. I need to get all their bounty posters. Yeah. I just want that on my wall for my office. Jeez, God Usopp. All right, so topic that I really wanted to get into today because
let's get into the main topic. Yeah,
the main topic. Oh God, Black Clover is so different. It's so fun. Jeez, man. Yo, it's wild. So do you know are you caught up or what episode are you?
I'm not fully caught up. I don't know what episode I'm on, but like depending on where you are, I could say if I'm past it or not. So you can just talk about it.
All right, I'm
pretty sure I'm past where you are.
I don't know, man. I've watched a lot.
Are you fully caught up? If you're fully caught up, then I'm not.
I'm not fully caught up, but I'm at. They just got finished with the elf arc.
Oh, with the elf with the demons and shit?
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen that too.
Okay, you've seen that too? Oh my god. Yo, so Langris, that dude is a savage. And if I'm putting people's powers, so like that's just something I don't even know where I want to start with this because like there's so much you could talk about in Black Clover. It's like because everyone has their attributes, but some people's attributes are a little like kind of bonkers. Like Langris being able to use spatial magic to kill people. Yeah. Like does and then like what does that mean? And does that fall into the realm of the sleeping captain and the glamour world? Like does Langris' stuff just go into a dimension and it's like can be retrieved? So is he like killing things or is he just like separating people from reality? Like what is the understanding of this? Because he was going dumb hard. like he was going crazy hard in the anime series, and like him and Fenrir, they have such like similar aspects to their magic because they're brothers, but one's so much more destructive, and that kind of was like wild to me, like how it's so different, and they have the same, almost like the same style of magic. And I was watching it.
Yeah, well, they both have spatial, but like Fenrir's is way different than Langris. Like Langris is like it disintegrates everything.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Does it disintegrate it because they're related,
which is cool as hell too.
Yeah, like does his actually disintegrate them, or does it do it like the glimmer world or glamour world with the sleeping captain, where it just goes into a realm and it's just there? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are we at that understanding whether he like actually just like kills you forever, like just separates your molecules, or is that just getting too deep? Like it's just,
Yeah, we actually don't know that because like every time they show it, it just seems like he just erases whatever he throws at his shit. Like it's just gone.
Yeah.
So we don't know like if it's like put some shit in like another dimension.
And
that'd be crazy,
right? Because the only reason why I'm like asking that is because Finral and him, they were throwing the same attack at each other, and I think it was like episode like 110. They were throwing the same attack. Fenrir's was green, but his moves people to other places. Wow, but they look the same. So was that kind of like foreshadowing? Like maybe the other place isn't in this realm, and like they can now go into like other worlds because he's connected to like the demon magic. Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
Wait, that's just not demon magic though? That spatial shit?
Well, Finral's isn't, but Langris's was because he was taken over by the
elf. Yeah.
And remember, they're like, "Yo, what's this ominous magic? It's like this cursed magic." So now, like, that's kind of got me thinking, like, is he pulling magic from like a dark realm? And that's
possible,
you know, and like now he can. And how like Finral's magic, he has to see it to be there. So does Langris's, if he uses it, he gets that spatial magic? Like how's that? You know,
I don't know. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that, to be honest.
Yeah, like think of like just dwell on that, like brew on that for a little bit, like because they throw many like hints. I feel like they both have the same style of attack. You know, like. Finral did kind of get aggressive for a little bit, but he wasn't really going hard like that.
Yeah, but his shit, like, I don't even know if his magic can even hurt you, though. Like, Finral's magic, like, I don't think that shit can even hurt anybody.
He could, but he might be able to. He could be an offensive or an attack mage. Like, they thought Noelle was a support mage until...
Yeah, that is true, actually.
Yeah, and then, like, she busted out the attack of the sea god and
yeah, she's a problem actually.
Yeah, she time skipped heavy. Like I'm gonna start using that term, even though it's not realistic, but I want to coin that for our podcast. Yo, Noelle time skipped hard, bro. Like some characters ain't time skipping. Like Noelle in the last fight when she had to go, she time skipped. She added that new spell and became. That
armor shit, right?
The armor, yeah, the Valkyrie armor.
Yeah.
Bro, she time skipped heavy. like there's some like oppressive, like habitual time skippers. Like is time skipping every 10 seconds. Like,
bro, he's broken. He is broken in this show, bro. Like he really is. Like he just gets everything. He gets everything he could ever want. Like it's just too much.
He gets doing everything.
Yeah, bro. It's too much. Not only he goes to the temple like a while ago, he gets the Sylph Fairy, which is just random, but okay, he gets it. Yeah, sure. And then he gets reincarnated as an elf, but the elf is a baby with no prior memories, so he has all the power of the elf with no downside. Bruh. He's broken.
Yo, yeah, that was the wildest. It took me like 2 episodes to get that.
I knew once that happened and they showed, I don't know, I forgot whose baby it was, like if it was Leek's baby or whoever that was.
Yeah, it was Leek's
once
baby.
They showed that the guy had a baby, I was like, it's 100%
Mm-hmm.
That just makes sense because he couldn't remember anything. They showed that already. Like he could have had no memories of his like elf life, so he had to be the baby.
He just was a baby. He's just
he's just a fetus.
He's got fetus powers. Like
yeah, bro, fucking insane. And he's just shooting like giant wind arrows and shit. Like, bro.
Oh my god! When he did once again, he time skipped. Boy, he rolled up to the palace after everyone already is in the dark palace. He rolls up. And they're like, wow, he mastered Mana Zone already in the time it took him to get to that damn palace? like, he mastered a Mana Zone? Like,
it's too much, bro. It's really too much.
You find out Sisgolian had to train with boars for a whole year, and this dude rolled in on a wind tornado, learned it, like, got the Mana Zone for Dummies book. Like,
dead ass, bro. It's really crazy. Is just he's just so strong in this fucking show. Like, he's just so fucking strong. It's crazy.
the way he's pulling stuff out too is like when he was fighting the I think that kind of was like a foreshadowing or a like delve into the what Yuno's going to be a captain, because when he fought the Aqua Deer, what is it Rai? What's the Aqua Deer's name?
Raya? I can't remember the names. I haven't watched in a long time. If it's not somebody important like a Black Bull or some shit, I don't remember.
Let me see.
It might be Raya, but I cannot remember.
I think it is that, but I'm not 100% sure. Rill. His name is Rill. Master Rill.
Oh, okay.
He was going ham. They were going toe to toe, like with each other. And then you find out how strong Rill is, though, too. Like was using spirit magic. He was leveling up. This kid's like 12 years old, just whooping. He's like, he blew up his own. So, spoiler, he blew up his own crystal because he was emitting so much magic power. Like, how are you that strong at that young? Like, going against the kid who's time skipping, almost young Echo over here. Like
dead ass time skipping OD.
He really is. Like, I like the character development of both of them though. Like, and Asta.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about Asta? Like,
I like Asta's character a lot because like he's like the typical shonen character where like he doesn't have much. He just tries super hard to get like this outlandish dream. But like it really shows because his like the thing he doesn't have is so important to this world. It just shows you like how hard he really wants this shit and how hard he tries. And the fact that they've come out and said that he has like the strongest like physical body or like top 2 in the whole verse is honestly insane. It just shows you like how truly busted Asta is. If Asta had an ounce of magic, he would legit be the Wizard King without question. If he had an ounce of magic, because just imagine if he had Yuno's magic with his like work ethic, he would be ridiculous.
That's so true too. God,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Yuno works hard too, but like it doesn't even. Yuno only works hard because Asta is working hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not Yuno's mentality or his personality. But Asta's personality has always been like, I'm gonna work hard as shit for whatever I want.
Like when he's cleaning the Black Bull, so like
yeah, bro. Like he just goes hard on anything he does. So that's why I really like his character.
I do too. I like the way it's set up. I like the way his flaw is ultimately the most powerful, like quote unquote, magic in the whole universe. Because there's been times where people are fighting and they're relying, like they mention all the time that how I can sense everyone's magic. Like, you're never going to run from me. Like my sensory magic is strong. And then Asta just like walks up hella slow and just gives him a 2-piece and a biscuit. And they're like this dude's kind of stealth, right? Like he kind of has built-in stealth. He's so strong that he gets to hold an anti-magic sword.
Yeah.
And he's pretty much swinging. So the anti-magic sword, just duffs people, but other people can't even lift the sword.
Yeah.
So it's not even like prime example was Rill reversed Lux like hyper arrow, right? There's so many traits where people are doing like reflection magic.
Yeah.
Like you can't even. The only person who could pick up the sword was Licht, and it was because he had like an insane god amount of mana.
Wasn't it his magic? Wasn't the Demon Dweller sword like his thing though?
Yeah.
That's why he wanted it. So that's why he could pick it up, because he had the original or whatever Demon Dweller.
So it wasn't because he just was overflowing with mana. I thought that's why. I thought that the swords like demanded like an excessive amount of mana to wield, and Licht had.
Oh yeah, that probably is what it is, to be honest.
A god amount of mana.
Yeah.
Because him and the original Wizard King, like he even said it when he was fighting. Like he goes, "This is why I was blessed with so much mana."
Yeah.
Like maybe like that's why Licht could do it, because he had just so much built up mana. Holding the sword, draining him of mana was still not enough, and that's why all his powers and his abilities were insane, because he was just dropping out like nuclear bombs on people. Like at one point he's like, "Yo, light magic, like ultimate demise, and put a hole through the whole building." Like, are you kidding me? Like, what is that? Like, what kind of magic is that?
Leet is actually insane, bro. Leet is actually, when he fought the Wizard King, bro, like, I was losing it. I was losing it. Because, like, anytime there's something with magic, I don't know, it's a thing with me and, like, specifically, like people who use ice powers and, like, time powers. Anytime they put something like Mortal Kombat, since Mortal Kombat 3, I've mained Sub-Zero in every game because he's just tight and I like ice powers. But like anytime they show something with like time powers, I'm all for it. So when they show the Wizard King Julius having time power, I'm like, this is my guy.
Yo.
And of course, spoilers, he gets killed, of course.
Yo, talking about, I think out of everybody, Julius's character is the best designed character I've ever watched. Even
he's the best character in the show. In my opinion, he's the best character in the show.
Bro, but I mean his name and everything, there's not too many people whose names sound really fucking busted. Yeah. Julius Nova Chrono.
Yeah, and that's tight.
That's a fallen ass name. Like some people like Mr. 3, like Crocodile. Like that's kind of cool. You know, but you don't really get a dude whose name fits his magic power, and his magic power makes him the strongest, and he's just so cool. Like himself, his personality is cool. Like
he's my favorite character in the entire show. I love that.
Yami is easily my favorite character.
Yami is top 3 for sure. Yami is fucking sick.
Do you know why I like Yami? Because
Yami is so tight.
Yami reminds me of.
He just has cool magic too.
But he reminds me of Kenpachi Saraki from Bleach. Like when he was standing at the Magic Knights. What was the thing where they were getting inducted or picked? Is that just like the Magic Knights assessment, or like whatever that one was? Like whatever that was, the Magic Knights where they're picking, and he meets Asta, and they're like, "What is this magic presence?" And it's just Yami with the purple like shroud around him, and he's like, "He really is gonna kill me." I'm like, "That's so sick!" Like, I love when people's powers like exceed their body. Like that's my favorite. Like, Yami was just like, "I'm gonna kill you." And he's like, "No, don't, like please." Oh, dude. So yeah, Yami has to be my number one, I think. Then it definitely is Julius because he's just the coolest. But Asta, I like to go back. So we got off on a little sidebar. So like Asta himself, like he's just such a tech for the world. Like I think he would be the Wizard King, not only because he like involves people and gets people to do their best. It's just with what he has now and the tools he has now. Like he threw the sword at the dude Veto.
Yeah.
And he couldn't pull the sword out. He's like, I can't move this sword. I'm gonna die. He's like, it's draining my magic energy. I didn't notice this. I'm gonna die. like just simple things like that. And when Julius picked it up, like the strongest person in the universe.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh time, shit."
Yeah, he's like, you can take this back, bud. He's like, anti-magic is flowing in my body. I can't hold this. Here you go.
It's too much, bro.
Yo, it's just he's made so well. Like for someone to have a like birth defect, like you have no magic to be the thing that makes you the strongest.
Yeah,
and I think his body has to be good because honestly, that's my question in all animes, and I want to know if you guys have the same feelings, you listeners. How are these people getting body slammed through mountains and just like not dying? Like you know, like dudes are getting slammed in the walls, and like I get you can use magic, but is your bones and your body stronger than a mountain? Like what is going on? Because people are getting slammed into the earth. Stupid.
I don't know, bro. Especially because like it makes sense for Asta to be able to like survive these shits because he's so physically strong. But like some of these other mages, like y'all should be dead, bro. Y'all getting hit with a rock boulder, you're like, you should be dead.
Yeah, like come on, like that's what I was saying. Like certain people make sense. Like when Luffy's getting bounced around, like his body is made out of rubber. But like when your god Usopp getting cracked in the dome piece, like are you really living this through, bro? like even people like like Chopper, when he was getting thrown, like he got his antlers snapped in half, and that's why he got it fixed. Like, how are you getting hit with like supercharged like paw attacks and stuff from like generals? Like, is this real? So like, it makes sense for people like the captains who are like I always love saying Sisgolian. I'm not gonna lie, like Sisgolian and stuff. But when they're getting hit with like light attacks or dark slashes or ice stabs, like they're getting stabbed, but like you're not dying from getting body slammed from 100 feet in the air. like
bro, that's just anime logic, dude.
Right? You can
anime logic is too much.
You get shanked. Like a dude literally walks up to you with just a shank, stabs you. Oh, that hurt, but you get fucking 5-star F-150 rock bottom from the mountaintops. Like you're like, oh man, I slipped off my broom. Like,
oh shit, that's too much.
Yo, that kills me every time, man. So I was stoked with this. So to clear that one up, Black Clover is definitely, I would say it's a top notch anime.
It's up there. You have to get it. If you can get over Asta's voice in the first couple episodes, then you're golden. Because I think he's really annoying in the first few episodes.
What would you rate it? Are we gonna rate it one? We should rate some animes at the end of it.
So we're gonna give Black Clover. From what I've seen, I give Black Clover like a solid like 7.58. Solid.
So 10. All right? So
out of 10.
We got to give the scale though. What's
out
a
of 10?
1? What's a 1 being?
A 1?
What's a 1?
Have you seen Sword Art Online?
Yes.
The second half of season 1 is a 1.
Okay. So can we say Sword Art Online Fairy Tail 1?
I don't want to lump it because I think the first half of season 1 of Sword Art Online is like an 8. Yeah. It's so good. But it's only the second half that's really bad.
I think the first season, right, where they're like first in the game, but then the Fairy Tail one, right, like is
once he beats the villain or like the guy, and the world collapses and they go to the fairy world, that's when it's bad. Yeah, when they're in the original world, that's the one where it's really, really good.
Okay, so I'll give you that one. So 1 is a tier 0 is definitely Sword Art Online Season 2.
Facts.
So that and then what's a 10 out of 10 anime? Naruto Shippuden?
Yeah, would I say Naruto's a 10 out of 10? I don't even know if I've seen a 10 out of 10 anime, to be honest. Like, I give it to like a 9 for sure.
Dragon Ball Z?
Nah, Dragon Ball is like a 7.
So like, what about Dragon Ball, the first one? Dragon Ball could be a 10 to me, honestly.
It might be. I haven't seen it in a long time, but that could be up there because Dragon Ball is really good.
Yeah, like that was. I'm
saying Dragon Ball. Yeah,
I'm saying Dragon Ball is a 10.
Okay, I'm down with that. I can co-sign that shit for sure.
Because people weren't just OP. There were good hands being thrown, and people were developing, and no one was time skipping 15 times in an episode. Like Goku trained for a whole month with Master Roshi before he became strong, and Krillin put in work too. Everyone, don't diss Krillin. So,
bro, Krillin is the strongest real person in that show. If you take away the aliens, Krillin is so strong. It's insane.
Like super insane. Like
it's really when you stop and think about like, oh no, Goku's not even human.
Yeah.
How is Krillin a human shooting beams from his hands? Like, bro.
Gotta give it to Krillin, man. Yo,
gotta give it up to Krillin. Big up to Krillin, hell yeah.
So Sword Art Online Season 2 is a 1. Dragon Ball is a 10. You're still giving Black Clover a 7.58?
Yeah, 7.58 for sure. It's hella solid.
All right. I'm definitely gonna give it a solid 8. Yeah. I think everything about it is good.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Time skipping definitely takes away from it being close to a 10. Because I feel like he's putting in work, but it's just like he's getting too much. Like slow his powers down a little bit.
Yeah, I can co-sign that.
All right, that's co-sign. All right, boss. So with that, man, I think we crushed it today. Like, that's my feelings. That's what I want to talk about. Talk about some dope animes and just chill, man. How are you feeling today, though? Good?
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good combo for sure.
Nice. All right, Pimp.